Hello, how are you?
Hello, Gary. How are you?
I'm very good. As you know, my name's Gary, and your name is
Eliezer.
Eliezer. Nice to meet you.
Exactly. Nice to meet you too.
And where do you live?
I'm living in Brazil.
Brazil. What
Yeah.
city?
My city is Campinas. It's a city. The location of the city is in São Paulo States.
Oh, okay. So are you close to Sao Paulo or a long way away?
No, no, 100 kilometers.
Oh, you're very close. I,
Yes,
I talked to
close to
somebody
an
else
hour.
who was very far from there, but in the same state. So
No, no, it's
great.
close. So
Okay.
I live here in Campinas and I work at São Paulo. In São Paulo.
Okay,
I work,
great. So what are you using Cambly for? Are you to get better for your job or travel
yeah, yeah.
or
I
okay.
really like I really like to improve my English.
Okay.
So for the my career in
Uh-huh.
work and
Okay.
for life too, travel and know another cultures with more. I think English is good to travel in different place that different. Even one person I'm gonna find you to that speak English.
Sure.
So it's a new universal language. So
Yeah,
I really need to improve.
yeah, that's really true. It's becoming very much a universal language.
Yes, universal.
The language of aviation, of maritime, so many things. So great. So now tell me how you use Cambly. 'Cause the first time I met you, do you do lessons or do you just looking for free talk tonight? What are we looking for?
It's my third week here
Okay.
on Cambly,
Okay. Oh, very new. Okay.
and so in my first class I was very stuck. I was so stuck. So now I feel that I'm better,
Okay.
and so I don't have some approach exactly. So in this beginning, I would like to talk. If you want to talk about some news or ask me
Sure.
a little
Sure.
questions, for me it's okay. So you have to, if you feel comfort
Yeah,
to
sure. No, I
correct me what my addiction intonation. I don't know.
sure. Sure. No, that's no problem. I just some students come, for instance, I have a Vietnamese lady and
All right.
she found a website and it's it's interesting articles. I mean, we've talked about cancer, we've talked about famous painters, we've talked about Martin Luther King today. And so
All right.
she just reads the article and then I help her build her vocabulary and help her with her
Oh,
pronunciation. So,
all right.
other students go into the Cambly library and find a
Mhm.
lesson. Most of my students are like you. I do a free talk with them. We ask questions, we get to know each other. I was talking to a young man from Pakistan today, and
All right.
he was talking about some philosophy that he heard a monk teaching on TV, and so we talked about that. So I'm open to anything.
Okay.
Well, tell me a
Okay.
little bit about yourself. Are you married?
Yeah, yeah. I'm married, and
Okay.
I have two kids.
Okay.
My
Boy and a
children.
girl. Two.
Exactly. A boy and
Okay,
a
great.
girl.
Okay, so I have two
Uh,
children. We would say.
children. Children.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. That's already plural. It's
All
one
right.
child for one, children for more. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, how old are they?
The boy is for 5 years old,
Okay.
and the girl is 10 years old.
Okay. So we would say normally we would say my son is 5 years old and my daughter is 10 years old.
All right. My son is
Okay.
5 years old, and my
Yeah.
daughter is 10 years old. All right.
I'll just type
Thank,
that
thank,
in.
thank, thank you so much.
Oh, sure. You don't have to thank me. That's what I'm here for. Okay. That's why you joined. I'll just type that in there.
My
Well,
son is
no,
5 years old, and my daughter is 10 years old. All right.
very good. Very good.
All
So,
right.
believe it or not, you can see my hair is pretty white.
Uh,
Um, I have twins. I have a boy and a girl,
all right.
twins,
Twins. Okay.
and they're asleep right above me. They're 22 months old.
22.
2 months. Month.
Month old. Oh,
Yeah,
very nice. So it's a
very
little,
young.
very young.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's why I'm still working.
Okay, I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very
So
nice.
yeah. So we're
I remember.
similar.
I remember that phase with
Oh,
my kid. It's very difficult phase.
it is. We are so waiting for 4 years old, or just get them by this. Just another 2 years.
Oh my
Especially
God.
twins, they fight over everything now, and it's
Oh my God. They're nice. They're nice.
yeah. So, well, what do you do for a living? What's your job?
I'm a system analyst.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I work at the name of my company is Claro. It's a telecom
okay,
company here
okay,
in Brazil,
okay.
and but I work with information technology.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
I my approach is basically um, to to how can I say? Oh my God. Let me think. How can I say that?
sure, sure.
So I have some orders to build some new the project. Usually it
Okay,
was about to build some softwares or improve the platform that we have.
okay.
So that's it.
So
Uh,
you're not really a programmer, but you're building systems.
I am a
Would you
program
say?
too. I am a
Oh, you
program
are.
too,
Okay,
but now I design what the factory have to develop
okay,
in the system to achieve the goals of the project.
okay. So
So
could we say you're a system designer?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. System
Okay.
designer or
Okay.
architecture. We call here architecture. So
Okay.
for find the better way to build some softwares, to build
Sure.
some to improve the platform to achieve the goal, the subject, the object of the project. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. So were
Yeah.
you say I think you said platform.
Yes, platform.
There you go. Just say it a little slower, and make sure you have the T in there. Okay. Platform. But very good.
Platform.
Now, before we go any farther, tell me your background on learning English. Did you learn from the? Your English is very good. Okay. You can be very confident with it.
Thanks so much. Thanks so
You
much.
can be very confident. Um, did you study when you were like in elementary school? That young or
No.
okay?
Yeah, yes. Here in Brazil, we have there's a delay on the sound, but there's no problem for me. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Here in Brazil, we have in elementary school, we study English here, but our education is very poor.
Okay.
So the focus in the elementary school is only grammar, a little simple vocabulary. So is not about conversation.
Sure. Sure. So we would
Uh,
say focus.
Focus.
Yes. Very good.
All
Very
right,
good.
all right.
Yeah. Because
And
all okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
okay, no, let's go.
Okay. You speak pretty fast already in English, and that shows a comfort level. So that's good. So I'm just trying to pick up on the smaller things that I hear to make sure that you're saying them clearly. Okay. Good.
All right, all right. No problem.
Okay. So good. You've had a good background in English. That's excellent. Okay. Um,
But now I have to study myself. So
mhm.
for example, I read some books. I
Yeah.
have I have a read. I have a book, short book.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Sure.
I'm reading now this book,
Dracula by
Dracula.
Bram Stoker. Sure.
Yeah,
Very famous book.
yeah, yes. It's a short book.
Yeah.
It's but I like it. It's very interesting, and it's a good opportunity to improve the vocabulary,
Yeah,
and
that
it's very nice.
that is an excellent way. I tell pretty much I tell all my students. I say, I don't like bringing a lesson to you. I want you to bring a lesson to me, and by that it means I have a Chinese student. He works for Huawei, the cell phone company,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're
I
rolling
know.
out a new product. So we are going through his whole presentation. That'll be in English, and we're expanding his vocabulary and helping him pronounce all those things. So and I have again the Vietnamese. I taught in Vietnam for 6 years in language centers and in the public schools, and I have a young lady who brings me articles. She found a website, and she brings me articles that we read, and that helps expand her vocabulary and practice really grammar just by seeing the way it's written.
That's a very, very nice. Have you been on Vietnam? Vietnam,
Yeah, Vietnam in English, Vietnam. I spent 6 years
Vietnam.
there. Yep.
Oh,
Uh,
very nice.
my wife is Vietnamese. I met her in church.
Okay.
I started going to Vietnam to work with our Vietnamese church, and I met her there. And we've been married for 11 years, and we just had 2 years ago almost, we had our twins. And so, anyway, when I was there, I taught English. And so I learned a lot.
Interesting. 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 Do,
So,
do
what
do you speak another language? Do you speak another language?
Yeah, I speak a little bit of Vietnamese, enough to
Vietnamese.
nowhere near your level of English by comparison. I can communicate basic. The biggest problem in Vietnam is when I speak Vietnamese, the Vietnamese don't expect foreigners to speak their language, so they really don't listen. So it's
Oh,
kind of
oh
like
my God.
you get a blank stare or something, and you have to repeat a few times. And a lot of times, my wife will jump in and say, "He said," or "He asked," and then they realize. But it's nice because the I can help the young lady I work with. I speak enough with her that I can help her on a number of things. Um, so that it's good that way. But I don't have a very high fluency level, and that's another thing. See, now I learn differently. I don't want to take up all your time talking, but I believe that when you ask me how do I say this or can we read this article, it's important to you so you'll remember it more. I'm not a good a student, I should say. Um, I go in a classroom and somebody's going to teach me grammar for an hour. I'm sleeping on the desk. I don't care.
Me too. Me too. Me
So
too.
what I like about Cambly is when I'm talking with my students, I can correct you as you go and then explain some of the grammar rules. And I don't know most of them because I grew up with the language. We were taught certainly in school, but you know, who remembers that stuff?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Okay. Okay.
So, okay, good.
Interesting.
Well, ask me some questions then. Your turn.
Okay. So as I told you, every day I try to listing some videos on YouTube in
Hmm.
English. I'm watching movies only in English. Sometimes I put the English subtitle.
Right.
So I try every day be in put the English in my routine
Okay, good.
and during the day. I think it's good. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Sometimes my brain I think my brain is blowing up, so it's very difficult and tired too. Tired too because I think my vocabulary is a little poor. So for me, um, ever sometimes every subject or matter that I'm reading, we have to pay. We have to stop, look dictionary. So it's
Hmm.
difficult. It's
Yeah.
very difficult. But I try to go ahead one day. day by day. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, that's right. Now, excuse me, I got a little
okay, no problem.
bronchial thing. I've been coughing for days. I can't stop. Um, a couple of things you can do. First of all, very important to listen. Now, do you drive to work, or do you take a commuter train or anything? Is it a long way to
No,
work, or is it close?
I'm going my work by bus, so I'm
Okay,
go
so
usually
you're on
also
the bus.
watching film.
Yeah, you can watch that, or you can just listen.
Yes,
You
by
can listen to
smartphone.
podcasts, anything you're interested in. Okay, good. You're doing that. Excellent. Um, Another thing is to, like you're doing, read something, a book or something about sports that you're interested in. Now, if I use a tablet. I don't buy
All
books
right.
pretty much anymore, so I can go to my local library and download books to read for free. And what I like about the app that I use, if I don't know a word, I can highlight that and click define, and it'll bring it right up. So it doesn't take a lot of time. Boom, it's there. I see the word. Okay, great. I click off it, and I'm back to reading.
Yes.
So if you have an app like that, that can really help you too.
All
Um,
right. Thank you.
um, yeah,
Uh,
reading's probably
it's
the
a good
best way to
advice.
build your vocabulary. Because when you're listening, it's hard unless you're writing down words. You're busy, you're on a bus, and you're moving. If American movies can be difficult because there's a lot of sound, music, action.
Yes.
So you have to kind of tweak.
Slangs.
Slang and idioms will
Oh
kill
my
you.
God, it's very the idioms. It's very difficult. I think it's very difficult.
If
It's
you
for
can,
sometimes it's frustrated.
yeah, it's very frustrating.
It's
Frustrating.
frustrated,
Yeah.
frustrated.
You
I feel like awkward. You know? Oh my God.
Well, you could watch an American newscast if you can get Fox News or something like that, or any New York City, Los Angeles, any of those TV stations. If you can find podcasts on that type of thing, or actually documentaries are very good. If there's a subject
Yes.
you're interested in, watch those too. So because you'll get some. And I should throw a disclaimer out here. I don't really speak English. I speak American, and
No,
and,
okay.
and so people in the UK speak English. Okay, they
So I think as I'm usually understand better English from America
yep.
and English from UK. It's very difficult. It's very different. So
It's proper English, but I just read an article about it was 38 things that Americans say that the British hate, and they
yes,
and now these sayings are becoming part of English in the UK, and they're upset about it. Okay, because it's like American English is taking over. Uh, but that's very true. See, now I wouldn't worry about so much about a big vocabulary. Americans, at any rate, because you're in our hemisphere, we're here. Um, Americans tend to talk more simply. We want to
okay.
communicate. I think we want to communicate and say what we think simply to the point. And yes, there are way more beautiful words to use and probably more correct words, but
Oh,
Americans, we just don't care
I
about
think.
that.
I think it's the same here in Brazil
Hmm.
compared to Portugal.
Right. You speak Portuguese in Brazil, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Portuguese,
Yeah.
but the foundation of the Portuguese is from Portugal, so
Right.
it's
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
For example, when I have been in Portugal, and I try to watch some news there, and when the journal finished, I realized that I didn't understand anything that they were talking about. It's
Yeah.
very different.
Uh,
It's
it's the
just
same.
like Greek for me.
Yeah. It's the same way in Vietnam. In North Vietnam, they speak proper Vietnamese. The South Vietnamese people speak what I call lazy Vietnamese. It's kind of what
Lazy.
American language is to UK English. And so when my wife moved from the north to the south, she would order food and not get what she thought she ordered. It's a tonal language. They have uptones, downtones.
Oh my.
So the word spelled the same way could mean three or four different things, depending on the tone. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So
It's
that
totally crazy. It's
so that
different.
makes it very difficult to learn, to be honest. But
Yeah. So
well, so
okay. I intend to get some. I don't know if it's possible, but perhaps in a year or 2 years, I intend to keep the speed of the studying and to get close of the fluency. I don't know if it's possible in a year, but
you know, I
I will try.
yeah, I think you can become a very excellent speaker. I honestly, I don't know if anybody who isn't a native speaker, I don't know if you can achieve fluency in any language,
Yeah.
because language is kind of alive because of idioms and slangs and regional
Yes,
sayings
yes.
and dialects. It's really hard to keep up with all that. Now, all that to be said, some people really have a gift for languages, okay? And when I was in Vietnam, I had an Australian friend, two brothers that lived there, and the younger brother would argue with my wife in Vietnamese. He's got a gift. He's
Oh,
learning
nice.
Chinese now too. And he's got a gift for languages. The Vietnamese student I have with Cambly, she has a gift. I'll correct her, I'll pronounce a word one time to correct her, and she gets it like that. I've never had a student like that. It's like, wow,
Very nice.
yeah, she's lucky. I wish
Interesting.
I could do that.
Yeah.
But you can. I mean, again, your English is very good, and you're speaking fast and you're speaking confidently. And there's going to be
Oh, thank you so much.
well,
Thank you
sure.
so much.
Yeah, I mean, you can be very confident. Um, yeah, you need a little help on pronunciation on some
Yes,
things.
yes.
I, accent. Who cares? In America, we've got. I mean, I can't understand people in New York. They've got a true New Yorker. When they get cranked up, it's like, what? What country are you from? So
It's very
I
nice.
wouldn't worry about
Little
that.
one from Texas is different from Texas.
Yeah, y'all betcha.
Yeah.
It's like when I teach the word guitar, right? You have to say guitar every place in the world except Texas. Then you can say guitar if you want. But so
Oh,
you know, but
oh,
yeah.
it's
So
incredible.
I think a good thing for you is conversations like this, and just pick a topic. You can talk about if you like to golf. I can talk about golf all day long. I can talk about, for me, American football. If you want to talk about underwater basket weaving, maybe
Uh,
not.
what the city? What about the city that that you are living now?
Okay. Well,
The city, the country,
I'll tell you what.
the country, the states,
Yes,
the state.
the
Okay,
state.
country is United States.
Yep. I live in Minnesota,
Minnesota.
which is gonna be pretty much directly north of you, up to the Canadian border. Okay.
All right.
Right this way. As I look at you, if I look at my wall, about 40 miles away or less, as a bird flies, is Canada. So I'm very
Okay.
far north.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm in the middle of a forest. I'm
Okay. The
so
middle of the forests.
my now
You're
Minnesota.
hunting.
Yeah, I love to hunt. Yeah, hunt and fish. You bet.
All right.
So now in Minnesota, we have smaller areas called counties. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know how many counties there are, but in our county, in our entire county, one stoplight, one traffic light.
Counting.
County,
Counting.
county. Yeah, it comes from,
Okay.
and this is a smaller
Okay.
we have our state government, then we break it down to counties, cities, towns, townships, just smaller forms of government, the local level. Okay.
That's very okay.
So yeah, in our entire county, there's probably not more than 7,000 people, and there's only one stoplight. The biggest city is maybe 5,000 people.
Five.
But
The city
the,
that you
the,
live is 5,000 people.
I'm
There's
in the
5,000.
I'm in the woods. I'm 20 miles from this city.
Okay. Okay.
the,
Okay.
the nearest big city to me is Duluth, Minnesota, which is a port on Lake Superior, and they're running over 100,000 people, I think, maybe 150.
Okay.
So
So you live I think totally isolated. I don't know if
yeah,
this is the
yeah,
word. This word,
yes, yeah,
isolated.
that is yes, isolated. Yeah,
Isolated. Oh, it's
yeah,
incredible. It's
uh,
incredible.
yeah, the air is so clean here, and it's so quiet at night, and you
Okay.
can see all the stars. There's no pollution. I've lived in
So you
big
have
cities.
internet there. Do you have a good
Yeah.
internet?
Oh, get this.
How this is possible, man?
We have fiber optic high speed internet.
Okay.
So,
This is the United States.
yeah,
This is the
well,
United States.
yeah. A number like 6, 7, 8 years ago, some company got a whole bunch of money to run broadband all over the state. And the government money, where it came from, federal tax dollars, state tax dollars, they put it everywhere. We were up 5, 6, 10 miles north of here in the middle of the forest on a dirt road, and we saw a cell phone tower in the
Okay.
middle of the woods.
Good.
So
Incredible, incredible,
yeah.
incredible. So here, I live in a big town. So Campina is a big town. There's
Hmm.
about 2 million people here.
Woo! Wow, 2 million
So,
people.
and the 2 million people, okay.
Yes.
2 million people here. So there's some place close to the center of the town, you know,
Yeah.
where there's no internet, good internet.
Wow.
So, for example, you know,
Yeah, I'm
so
lucky.
this
I'm in
is
a,
example. This is example that I am impressed
yeah. Well,
with
now,
your situation.
now on the other hand, our cell phones don't work here. I've got
Okay.
my cell phone sits on top of a cabinet, leaning on a window, and it'll ring occasionally. My wife can use
But
hers
there,
through
but,
Wi-Fi.
but there's no problem with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but
You
my
talk
phone,
about
I can
VoIP,
use, yeah, I
VoIP,
can use Viber and WhatsApp or whatever, but I
WhatsApp.
can't. I can't use Wi-Fi calling through my system because it's locked in my phone.
Okay,
But
I
anyway, but
understand.
my wife can use hers, so we have that to get calls from everybody. But it's crazy. We have high-speed internet, and our phones barely work. It's
Oh, it's
technology.
incredible, incredible,
So
incredible, incredible,
yeah.
incredible.
So well,
Oh,
this
wait.
has been. Yeah, I
Okay,
really
go
enjoy
ahead.
talking to you. No, I just said I really enjoy talking to you. Uh, we're getting down. We have
Oh
about
my God.
two minutes left already. It goes so fast.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So now, are we working only with Cambly, or do you have another job?
Yeah, I do. I teach online on a couple different
All right.
platforms, and then I'm also a photographer. And
Oh,
so
good, very good.
now that we're back in the States, we just moved back here in June from Vietnam. One of the things I'm pursuing will be real estate photography. It's a big business here in America. They hire
Do you
photographers.
have a site? Do you have a site? Do you have a site
I
where
do.
you put
I
your?
sure do. But Cambly doesn't allow us to give out that information.
Oh my God,
Like I can't give
shame.
you my Facebook, I can't give you my phone number or my email. They don't want, and if I gave you my website, it would have my
Uh,
email, so I'm not allowed to do that. But
okay.
if you
Sorry for that.
if you Google Minnesota photographers, you might find me.
Okay.
That's
I'm
all I'll
gonna
say.
do that. I'm gonna
I'll
do
probably get in trouble now when they listen to this, but
that. No, no, no.
But
Nice to meet you too. Our time
yeah,
is finishing, so
yeah, it is very good. Book a reservation if you want. I'd love to talk to you again.
okay.